the hope and betrayal of Nigeria's 1993 election. Imagine this. It's June 12, 1993. The sun is shining brightly over Nigeria, and millions of people are standing in long lines waiting to cast their votes. For the first time in years, there's a sense of hope in the air. The election is peaceful, transparent, and fair. The results start coming in, and it's clear. Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, or MKO Abiola, has won by a landslide. But just as Nigerians begin to celebrate, something unthinkable happens. At the time, military ruler General Ibrahim Babangida announced the election's annulment. The annulment crushed the hope of millions, plunging Nigeria into chaos. Why did this happen? What led to one of the most controversial decisions in Nigerian history? And what does Babangida's recent autobiography reveal about this dark chapter? In this video, we'll take you on a journey through the rise and fall of Ibrahim Babangida, the tragedy of MKO Abiola, and the shocking truth behind Nigeria's 1993 election. This is a story of power, betrayal, and the enduring fight for democracy. Our story begins in 1985 in the dusty town of Minna, Niger State. A young military officer named Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida has just seized power in a bloodless coup. At 44 years old, he becomes Nigeria's head of state. Babangida was a charismatic and cunning leader. He promised to restore democracy and bring prosperity to Nigeria. But behind his charming smile was a man who knew how to play the game of power. During his rule, Babangida introduced sweeping reforms. He launched the Structural Adjustment Program, or SAP, which aimed to stabilize the economy. But for many Nigerians, SAP meant hardship, skyrocketing prices, job losses, and widespread poverty. Yet Babangida remained popular among the elite. He was a master of political maneuvering, earning the nickname the Maradona of Nigerian politics, a reference to the famous Argentine footballer known for his dribbling skills. But as the years went by, pressure began to mount. Nigerians were tired of military rule, and the international community was demanding a return to democracy. Babangida knew he had to act. In 1993, he announced a transition to civilian rule. But little did Nigerians know, this would lead to one of the darkest moments in their history. June 12, 1993 was a day like no other. Across Nigeria, millions of people woke up early, eager to cast their votes. The atmosphere was electric. For the first time in years, Nigerians felt a sense of unity. The election wasn't about ethnicity or religion. It was about hope. The two candidates were MKO Abiola, a wealthy businessman and philanthropist, and Bashir Tofa, a relatively unknown politician. Abiola's campaign, under the slogan Hope 93, resonated with Nigerians. He promised to tackle corruption, create jobs, and unite the country. When the results started coming in, it was clear. Abiola had won. He secured votes from every corner of Nigeria, breaking down the ethnic and religious divides that had plagued the country for decades. But as Nigerians celebrated, a storm was brewing behind the scenes. Babangida, the man who had promised to hand over power, was having second thoughts. What happened next would shock you. On June 23, 1993, just 11 days after the election, Babangida made a shocking announcement. He announced that he had annulled the election. The reasons were vague, legal complications, national security concerns, but to Nigerians it was clear, this was a betrayal. Protests erupted across the country. In Lagos, thousands took to the streets chanting June 12th must stand. The international community condemned the annulment, but Babangida stood firm. Abiola, determined to claim his mandate, declared himself president. But his defiance came at a cost. Authorities arrested him and charged him with treason. For 4 years he languished in prison, a symbol of Nigeria's struggle for democracy. Meanwhile, Nigeria descended into chaos. Babangida was forced to step down in August 1993, handing power to an interim government. But the damage had been done. The annulment of the 1993 election left a deep scar on the nation's psyche. MKO Abiola's story is one of courage and tragedy. Even in prison, he refused to give up. He became a symbol of hope, not just for Nigerians, but for all who believe in the power of democracy. But in 1998, just as Nigeria was preparing to transition to civilian rule, Abiola died under mysterious circumstances. Many suspect that he was poisoned, although this has never been substantiated. His death was a devastating blow to Nigeria, but his legacy lives on. Today, June 12th, is celebrated as Democracy Day, a reminder of the sacrifices made in the fight for freedom. Decades after the annulment, Babangida's autobiography has reignited the debate. In the book, he defends his decision, claiming it was necessary to preserve Nigeria's unity. But many Nigerians remain skeptical. They see the book as an attempt to rewrite history, to paint himself as a hero rather than the villain of the 1993 election. The debate continues, with some calling for accountability and others urging Nigerians to move on. What do you think? Does Babangida's autobiography change how we view his legacy? The story of Nigeria's 1993 election is a reminder of the power of democracy and the consequences of its denial. It's a story of hope, betrayal, and the enduring struggle for justice. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in history, let's remember the lessons it teaches us about leadership, accountability, and the importance of standing up for what's right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for deeper dives into history and politics. And in the comments, let us know. Do you think Babangida's autobiography changes how we view his legacy? Thanks for watching.